In this video, we will look at the magnifying dock element, another unique element from Elements Hive that can be used as a website or in-page navigation bar, or to control other components like sliders and more. When you first add the magnifying dock to your page, it includes some predefined items by default which you can change or delete as needed. Under the Content tab, you can define a list of items via a repeater control. Each item can have either an icon or image as a media type. And you can also define an optional tooltip and link. Under the Design tab, the first category we have is Layout. With the Layout setting, you can change the orientation of the magnifying dock between horizontal and vertical layouts. The Animation Direction setting controls the direction in which the magnifying effect is created. The magnifying effect will be centered in place when no option is selected. You can also set the direction to top, bottom, left, and right. Note that the top and bottom work best with the horizontal layout, while the left and right work best with the vertical layout. Next is the Container category, where you can change the styling of the dock element. You can change the background color using a solid color or a gradient. The Border setting allows you to apply borders and box shadow styling. And you can define padding using the Padding setting. You also have a setting for applying a backdrop filter blur if you are trying to create a glass morphism style for your dock. Next is the Items category, where you can control the styling of the items. You can change the size of each item using the Size setting, and the gap between the items using the Gap setting. The Maximum Scale setting controls the maximum scale factor for the magnifying effect. With the Background setting, you can define the default and hover background colors of an item. The Border setting allows you to apply borders and box shadow styling. And you can define padding using the Padding setting. When you're not using links on items and are using the Interactions extension for a click action, you can use the Enable Pointer Cursor on Hover setting to change the mouse cursor on hover. When using icons as the media type for your items, you can change the color of the icons in the Icons category. You also have the option to either apply the color as a fill or a stroke, if your icons support stroke styling instead. Next is the Tooltips category, where you can control the styling of the optional tooltips. I'll add a tooltip and a couple of items and give them a background color and some padding to help us visualize the effects of the settings. The Location setting defines the position of the tooltip relative to the item. You can choose between top or bottom when using a horizontal layout and left or right when using a vertical layout. You also have control over the typography, background color, borders, and padding styling. And with the position offset setting, you can define a gap between the item and tooltip. The last category is the HTML markup category. If you plan to use the magnifying dock as a navigation element, you can enable the usage of the HTML nav tag and also provide an area label for the nav element here. You can also make use of the interactions extension with the magnifying dock element to create some interesting UI patterns. The demo sections in the design library contain examples that you can download and learn from. You should now be able to take full advantage of this unique element and find more creative uses for it in your projects. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon to be notified of future videos.